Hello, I'm Sheryl, and this is Sleep Tight Relax, a calming bedtime show for the young and young at heart. Tonight's story takes place in a big, cozy barn on a farm where 3 adventurous kittens learned a big lesson about family and home. After deciding to explore the forest on their own, they encountered all sorts of curious and sometimes scary things, like fireflies, a grumpy skunk, and even a laughing Screech-Owl. But as they braved the unknown together, they realized that there's no place like home. Their mom, always waiting with a warm purr, made them see that adventures are great, but coming back to the ones you love is the best adventure of all. This story of the 3 brave kittens teaches us about the joy of exploring and the warmth of family. Before we get started with our story, let's take a moment to get cozy, comfortable, and relaxed. Close your eyes softly and imagine you're holding a big, magical balloon that can change colors as you breathe. Take a deep breath in through your nose and imagine the balloon filling up with your favorite color, growing larger and larger. Count to 3 silently as you do this. Hold your breath for a moment and picture the balloon floating gently in the air. Now, slowly breathe out through your mouth as if you're gently blowing into the balloon, and watch it softly glide away into the night sky. Count to 3 again as you breathe out. Repeat this 3 times if you like, each time with the balloon changing to another beautiful color as you breathe in and out. Keep breathing slowly and gently, letting your body feel heavy and relaxed as we continue with our story. The Adventure of 3 Kittens. In a cozy spot on a farm, 3 big kittens lived with their mom in a barn. They had a big fight one day, and if their mom had been there, she might have gotten upset with them. But she was busy with her 4 new baby kittens up in the hayloft. You'd think the older kittens would be excited about their new siblings, but they weren't. They could have helped their mom or brought her food, but they just looked out for themselves. This doesn't mean they were bad kittens. They were just young and didn't think much about others. The brown kitten, whose fur was a mix of black and yellow that looked brown, decided to check out the new kittens. He sat near them and started growling. His mom didn't say anything at first, but when he flicked his tail at them, she jumped over and told him not to come back upstairs unless he could be nice. The yellow kitten and the white kitten stayed downstairs. They didn't mind the babies as much as their brother did. They just weren't interested. And that's often how it is. Cats usually only pay attention to kittens if they are their own. These 3 kittens were pretty good at taking care of themselves. They had stopped needing their mom to feed them a while ago and were great at hunting. They practiced sneaking and jumping in the barn. They would chase hay, each other, and even grasshoppers that came in with the hay. They didn't need to worry about food. If one of them didn't catch anything, they could just follow the farmer when he milked the cows and get some warm milk if they acted hungry and cuddly. So it was pretty silly for them to feel left out or upset. They had everything they needed, and their mom loved them just as much as before. But they still felt upset and started being rude to each other and not playing as much. They were only happy when they were sleeping because they were too tired from staying up all night. They even started ignoring how they looked. They cleaned themselves a bit, but not as well as they should. The yellow kitten didn't even try to clean her tail properly, and the white kitten's paws were a mess. The brown kitten kind of cleaned his ears, but forgot about his chin. Proper cleaning for a cat means a lot of licking and rubbing, but they were all skipping steps. Then one evening, they all fought over a bowl of milk. There was enough space for everyone, but their whiskers kept touching, and they got into a big argument. The farmer's wife got so annoyed that she took the milk away, and none of them got any. They started blaming each other, and the farmer had to shoo them away. Feeling more upset than before, the brown kitten hid under a shed. When it got dark, he decided to leave for the forest. I have new siblings and my sisters are annoying, he thought. I will leave, and they'll miss me. Even if they ask me to come back, I won't. He knew some cats lived in the forest and did just fine, even though he hadn't met any. His mom had told stories about such cats, pointing out how clever they were compared to dogs, who can't live without humans. I'll find a cozy tree for myself, he decided, imagining how he'd sleep there all day and explore at night. I will eat so much, I'll get big and strong, and all the forest animals will be impressed when they see me coming. As he trotted towards the forest, he was full of thoughts about milk, fireflies, and all sorts of things. But his adventure was just beginning, and he had a lot to learn about the wild world of the forest. As the brown kitten ventured closer to the forest, he tried to catch some fireflies, but his paws got all muddy, and he thought about heading back. I wish I had something to munch on, he sighed, nibbling on some catnip. It's nice for a quick snack, but I need a real meal. He kept moving towards the forest, thinking about all sorts of things, when suddenly, a large bird swooped down towards him and then flew up to a branch. The brown kitten stepped back and said, "Wow," in surprise. "Who, who?" the bird asked. "I'm the brown kitten," he replied. But the bird just kept asking, "Who, who?" The brown kitten realized that in the forest, no one knew his voice, so saying his name didn't help much. "I'm the brown kitten, and I'm moving into the forest," he explained. "Who, who?" the bird asked again. This time the kitten thought it was asking who he was going to live with. "I'm not living with anyone. I just wanted to come. I left home without telling anyone. I'm going to have an adventure on my own," he declared. "My mum," he stuttered when the bird asked again, suddenly feeling a bit homesick as the bird's face reminded him of his mom's. He ran away quickly, bumping into a skunk. He wondered if the skunk might be a kind of cat too because of their size. But when he asked, the skunk grumpily said, "No, I'm a skunk, related to weasels. Please move." Then a group of young raccoons teased him from a tree. They tricked him into climbing up, then told him to come down, laughing because he had to back down awkwardly. Cats, unlike some other animals, can't climb down head first. He found bits of food here and there and looked for a cozy tree to call home, but the only hollow tree he found was full of bees. He also saw lots of beautiful mushrooms, but remembered some could be dangerous, so he didn't try eating them. As night fell, he felt really alone. He missed being around those who cared for him. Suddenly, he saw two animals that looked like kittens. He cautiously approached, hoping they were friendly. Just as they noticed each other, a strong wind blew, and they saw two glowing eyes staring at them from an old log. They froze, then slowly backed away before running as fast as they could back towards the road home. When they finally stopped, they realized they were all the kittens from the barn, the brown, the yellow, and the white kitten. "Did you run away too?" they all asked each other, surprised. "We won't tell if you don't," they promised, relieved to be reunited. They shared their stories of trying to live in the forest, but admitted it was harder and scarier than they thought. Just then, a Screech-Owl laughed at them, having seen their scared reaction to the glowing eyes. They tried to act brave, saying they weren't scared, but they all knew they were relieved to be heading home together. The three kittens, feeling a mix of adventure and homesickness, hurried back to the barn. The quiet night around them seemed full of sounds and shadows, but now that they were together, the scary forest didn't seem so frightening anymore. They shared their stories and laughs about the day's escapades, realizing that maybe, just maybe, home wasn't such a bad place after all. When they finally arrived back at the barn, they found everything just as they had left it. The cozy hayloft, the familiar smell of the farm, and most importantly, their mom, patiently waiting for them, as if she knew they would return. She didn't ask where they had been, and they didn't tell her. It was their little secret. The kittens realized that their adventure had taught them more than expected. The forest, with its mysteries and dangers, had shown them the value of home and family. They learned that adventure could be exciting, but the warmth of family and the safety of home were irreplaceable. From that day on, the kittens showed more appreciation for their mom, helping her with the new kittens and sharing their hunting catches with the family. They still had their moments of mischief and play, but they also remembered their forest adventure and the lessons it had taught them. And as for the barn, it remained a place of warmth and safety for the kittens, a haven where they could dream of adventures, yet always know they had a home to return to. The kittens grew up with tales of their forest adventure, a reminder of their curiosity and bravery, and of the bond that held them together through everything. As they curled up in the barn, the soft purring of the kittens mingled with the gentle sounds of the farm at night, a peaceful end to a day of adventure and learning. The kittens, now wiser and more grateful, drifted off to sleep, dreaming of new adventures, but always knowing that home was the best adventure of all. If you are still awake, I would like you to whisper to yourself or just say in your mind, "I am brave and curious, ready to explore the world around me. I am smart and can learn from every adventure I have. I am grateful for my family and friends who support me. I am loved and safe, just like the kittens are loved by their mom. I am calm, relaxed, and peaceful. Good night. Sleep tight."